Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about my capture of NGC 281 Pacman nebula. My name's Rob, this is Seven Skies Astro. Today I want to talk about my capture of NGC 281, the Pacman nebula. Now I captured this over 3 nights a couple of weeks ago, and I got 10 hours and 50 minutes worth of data. I captured it using my Skywatcher 120 ED with my ZWO ASI 533 MC Pro camera, cooled to 0 degrees. Now I used an L-enhance filter, optic L-enhance. So that's what I've done. I'm going to pop on the computer and I'll show you what I've done. Here we have the stat raw data that I got. It's not too bad. So first things first, I've cropped it back because if you look around the edges here, you can see all the stacking, because I did use fast stacking process of fixing sites. So that's what I've done. I've cropped it, then run grad expert on it. Now I will include the raw data file in the description to this video. So here we have, after running grad expert. Next up on the list, after image solver it, I used the SPC, the spectrophotometric color calibration, and after doing that I just took that out there. You can see it even actually took a little bit of gradient out there, I think, by the looks of it. But that's what I've done. Next up was the thing that I always do on my images. I've zoomed right in there so I can show you. I run blur exterminator, but I run it with just correct only, and it just to correct any defects in the optical trade, and that's what it's done. It just, if you look at the stars there, it just some guided errors and whatnot, boom, gone. But what I also do is I run blur exterminator again on its defaults, and when I do that, you can see it just reduced all them stars. There's the centre there, even on the centre you wouldn't really tell if there was 3 stars there, but now you can. It doesn't overly, I don't think it's overly sharpened any detail per se, but it's definitely does really well on the stars. Because what I tend to do then is I stretch it, and there it is stretched. I use the HC stretch by Bill Blanchard. Fantastic stretch. It works, always works the best for me, I find anyway, especially with my data, and it brings the stars very nice. You can see there's even put nice bits of colour in the stars there. So what I then do, I take the stars out using Star Exterminator. You've got to unscreen the stars when it's stretched. If it wasn't stretched, I would leave that unchecked. So remove the stars, and there we have the stars there, which are fine. I'll just maybe add a tiny bit of saturation before I add them in, but nothing. I don't go mad on the stars like that. I don't believe it really needs the stars. Do it like that. Next up, I run a little bit of noise exterminator. Now the noise exterminator I used was 70. I reduced this down to 70 and increased this to 25. Now the reason I do that is because when you use it at default, it smooth it out too much. So running that, but it keeps the detail here. It hasn't affected the detail at all, and you don't really want to be blurring things. So that's what I do. Then onto the curves. Now the curves are just increased the red and the saturation. Oh, I did make a red mask for this, and that's the, I say it's got the red mask on, and I just used the curves just to increase the saturation and the contrast. And there's the contrast going up. So just a little bit, not too much, and then histogram just to bring the black point back up again, and that helps it a little bit. Then back onto the curves again, and just increase the contrast again, and it just makes sure that every last little bit of data I have is used up. Then onto script, and there's a lovely little script I like to use, which is advanced sharpening. I just keep everything at default and flick it on there, and it brings up, just sharpens things up that little bit, not too much, just a little bit. And there's also another script I like to use in utilities called dark structure enhance. Now I don't keep this at default. I tend to put the amount down to about 20%, just one iteration, and leave it at that. And I find that when I do that, it doesn't overcook it. And as you can see there, but just back off there, you can see it just enhances that just a little bit in places, and I think that does a really good job. And that was all I done on this one. I just added the star back, what I've done, and there's the image, the stars back in. There's some nice star colour there, I'm quite happy with. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. But onto Workspace 2, and I'll show you how I made my Who. Well, here's the clone, what I've just done before on Workspace 1. As I say, it's been noise exterminated at a 70 to 25 ratio. Then I added the Who normalization. You can see what it's done there. It's yeah, you can see the colors. So I've went into curves and increased the saturation and the contrast, like so. And then I've had a yellow mask, so I wanted to just enhance the yellow bits of it, which you've done. And as you can see, I added made it a little bit more red. Again, I used it twice with the yellow mask on. I put the red and the green both up a little bit. Then I added the blue mask, which is basically the center there. Again, onto the curves, and just increase the blue. Just move the blue curve up a little bit, not too much, just a little tiny bit, maybe a quarter of a square. Then histogram just to bring the black points and improve the contrast. Next up, like I did on the first image, I've used advanced sharpening, and it just brings that out a little bit. You see, especially noticeable up here. Just bring that sharpen, and there's still noise there because sometimes you can denoise too much, and it does tend to blur a little bit. So the advanced sharpening just brings that back. Next up, I went onto that same script of dark structure enhance, and just enhanced it that 0.2 again, 20, that little 20 from the 40 all the way down to the 20. Then I've hit it with noise exterminator, but I've reduced the noise reduction from 90 down, right down to 40, but increased the sharpness to 20. And I've hit it with that just to preserve the sharpness in it. And that is basically it for that. It's not on any, I've really done any more for that. So, and as I say, the stars, I've added the stars back, which come up with this, which is, it's not too bad. But in this one, I felt that with the colour and that I'd like to reduce the stars. So I did reduce the stars using star reduction. It's in utilities, star reduction script. And there we go. Mike Cranfield, Bill Blanchins, and I've reduced the stars. I used the halo method and the stretch factor is 0.2, which give me the star reduced image, and that's it. It just reduced them just a little bit. I don't like to go too strong with it, but I think there's lots of structure there. It looks like almost like you're looking in a cave or a hole, and there's all the globules and fine dust, and I'm quite pleased with that, how it's turned out. So that's it. I'm quite pleased with it. The two images, one the Who palette and one just as it comes straight off the camera. I do prefer the Who colour with the blues, but everybody's different, so it's up to you. Let me know in the comments what you think. As I say, I certainly like both images. So there you have it. On to the next one. If you're new to the channel, thank you for watching. If you're a subscriber, I really do appreciate you guys, and if you leave a like and a comment after, that would be really appreciated, and it really does help YouTube algorithm. So on to the next one. So be safe, be well, and clear skies.